I got some shoes, right? I counted like 24 pairs. Look at that. Because the problem is I don't play a lot. So if anyone has is a 10 and a half, I got some shoes for you. Hi, I'm Roger King, the head golf professional at the Sugarbush Resort, and I've been here 7 years, and it's my pleasure to be part of this program. I was a baseball player growing up. The baseball field is right across from the golf course. One of my buddies went to golf when I was 14, and I said, well, I didn't have a ride, so I went with him and his parents, and so we golfed, sort of fell in love with it. I've been golfing ever since. Realized that I love the golf business. I love being around the golf course. Love people. I'm from Central Illinois, from Jacksonville, Illinois. Worked my way to Florida, to Maine, back to Florida many times, then to Boston, and then I ended up in Montpelier, Vermont. And then I ended up here at the Sugarbush Resort 7 summers ago. And I've been here ever since, and I love every day that I come to my work. I feel like people that work here enjoy working here, and that to me is a pretty important piece. So I have now been a Class A member of the PGA. I just turned 25 years last summer. So a golf professional really comes down to a lot of facets. My main sort of priorities are to teach, to play at tournaments, to merchandise the shop, to run tournaments. And bottom line, just to make sure that the operation is running as professionally as it can with the help of obviously the director of golf and the golf manager. I think we make a good team. And I've been lucky enough over the years to win Vermont PGA Player of the Year, which means I was the best player in the state of Vermont for the professionals. I've won the Vermont PGA Stroke Play Championship. I've won the Vermont PGA Match Play Championship. My peers have voted me the PGA Professional of the Year. That's more like all-encompassing, not just playing, leadership, helping fellow professionals, and just the job that you do. I've been lucky enough to win the Merchandiser of the Year, which merchandising is the pro shop, like the merchandise, the shirts, the hats, etc. Not only have I won that for Vermont, but I won that for New England as well. So these are the Merchandiser of the Year awards for Vermont, and then the section as well. Anytime you're voted something from your peers, I think it's pretty special, because it means that all that hard work you're doing, people are noticing. Just this morning I was teaching, and I was saying earlier that I taught a 50-year-old woman who just started the game, taught a 60-year-old man who's been golfing for 30 years, and then I taught a 14-year-old boy who took up the game yesterday. So that's one thing that I really feel is a vital part of being a golf pro, but also me. I'm pretty good with people. Every day is different, yet every day is enjoyable. I think the thing that makes me most proud is I see kids that I knew when they were 6 years old, and to see them grow up and become, young adults with family, and have them be like, oh, geez, I remember, when I was 10, you did this for me. Whatever I did stays in their mind, and reminds them of, how they became a golfer, or how they became in the industry they're in. So the Sugarbush Resort Golf Club, it's been here for 55 years, actually more than that. I think it's almost 60 years now. A Robert Trent Jones senior design, which is a well-known name. It's a great layout. It's a ski hill, so there's a lot of up and down. We have a new superintendent who's doing a heck of a job getting the grass to grow and knowing how to treat it. The elevation we're at, it's different than if you're 1,000 feet lower in elevation or 1,000 feet higher in elevation, those kinds of things. So the course is a beautiful championship 18-hole golf course. It's hard, but we work on drainage, we work on tees, making them flatter, making the greens better, working on the range, making it a better practice facility. So we really work hard on making this a full championship golf course. It's tough, it's fun. That's golf in a nutshell right there. Just try and keep it between the trees, learn how to play the hills up and down, and enjoy it. There's 2 holes that stand out. Number 1 is 7, just because when you stand on the 7th tee, you can see the world. It's a par 4 down the hill. It's a challenging golf hole because you have to figure out the distance when it drops 150 feet, right? But then the next one is number 11. It's a short par 3 over a brook. One's gonna be beautiful. Once again, you gotta figure out the wind, you gotta figure out how much the drop is gonna matter. Then you gotta get it there, because if you come up short, it rolls back down the hill and you don't wanna be there. I've had the chance to play golf with some cool people. being able to play with PGA Tour players and play with guys who weren't PGA Tour players when I played with them. I've had the opportunity to caddy for Jack Nicklaus, golfed his ball beautifully. Fortunately, didn't need my help much. Over the course of my career, I've played with multi-millionaires. And I've played with the guy who's making minimum wage. And we've had just as much fun, and they've been in the same group. Going back to one of the cool things I was lucky enough to experience over my illustrious golf career, it's called the PNC, the National Championship for PGA Golf Professionals. You have to be usually in the top 10 or 12 of New England. So it just so happened in 2012 I qualified for this event, and this event was held in Carmel, California. And I just had a newborn baby, and so the family and I went out to this professional national championship. And there's 350 of the best players in the country, and I was lucky enough to be one of those. It's the full deal. I have a little book here that I put together with some of the great pictures, but it shows the gallery ropes, it shows the TV towers, it shows the bleachers. I've never had the pleasure of playing a PGA Tour event, so this is as close as I've gotten so far. But it was an experience when you have a caddy and the bibs and pieces of paper that say when you're teeing off, who your caddy is, what color the caddy is wearing. The tour vans are there. You go to the driving range, and depending on what ball you play, if you're a Titleist guy, they have Titleist golf balls for you. If you're a Callaway guy, Callaway golf balls. I'm going to try again this year to do it as well, and we'll see what happens. So in the winter, I work at the guest service desk at Lincoln Peak. It keeps me around people, doing similar things that I did in the summer. If you're having a bad day, you come and see me and we try and make it better. Or if you have an issue, you come and see me and we try to make it better. If you're having a great day, you come and we celebrate together. I enjoy spending time with my family. So, just the other day, my 2 children and I went and played 9 holes of golf, and it was great. And they hit some good shots, they hit some bad shots, but we had fun. We go biking, we go skiing in the winter. My 6-year-old is starting, and he's okay. My daughter is 10; she can pretty much go anywhere. But it's that quality time that we get, and for those of you that have children, right? Like, that quality time is pretty important. I love hanging out with my friends, whether it be golfing, whether it be skiing, whether it be just hanging out, barbecuing. One of my hobbies is sort of COVID-based. I bought my wife a calendar for Christmas, which I do every year. Pretty special, right? But this particular one was a Bob Ross calendar.
Let's do it. And we'll take the knife here, and let's start with some Prussian blue, Van Dyke brown. These two are at about equal parts, and a touch of alizarin crimson.
And my daughter, who's 10, and my son Schaefer, who's 6, they're like, who's Bob Ross? So, during COVID, when we were stuck at home, I popped up Netflix, and Netflix had The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross. And so we watched one episode, and my kids were like, he makes it look easy, let's do it. So I went out and bought some paint and some canvases, and so we sat down and watched an episode, and after about 6 minutes, my daughter was like, this isn't easy. I hadn't taken an art class since 7th grade. Never considered myself artistic for lack of, never really tried it. Make my golf ball do things I think are artistic sometimes, curving it, sometimes not curving it. So I started, just painting, and found that I wasn't bad at it. And so I just, over the course of 2 years of COVID, I've found some enjoyment. And luckily, having a golf shop here, I'm able to hang some of my paintings, and I've had some good reviews from people that didn't realize it was me that had painted it. And they're like, oh, geez, who does that? And I'll be like, well, this guy. So this was one after taking some lessons. I feel like it's getting better. So, in our junior clinics, we have almost 50 children. So we try to think about not only golf-related stuff, but other things that are enjoyable to break up the time. And last year we did a painting class, and we painted the driving range. And so it was cool to see the kids take it and go with it, and see their interpretations of art. Because art is art. Art's different. I don't care if it's a smiley face or if it's a grand backdrop with trees and birds. Art is art, and it's all interpretive. People say I'm not very good at art, and I disagree. I think if you do it, you're an artist. And I take lessons because I want to get better, just like I take lessons about golf because I want to get better. And I think everybody can get better. I don't care how good you are. Over the years, I've worked at high-end privates, I've worked at municipalities, I've worked at sort of blue-collar country clubs. What I love about the Valley, ultimately, is the camaraderie. And it goes back to the Sugarbush sort of mission statement. Not only the staff and the people that work here, but the people. because people take pride in being part of, whether it be the Sugarbush Resort Golf Club, or whether it be Sugarbush skier, a Mount Ellen skier, because obviously there's a lot of pride with that mountain alone. Bottom line is Alterra Mountain Company has brought a next level of that. People that have never been here, now they come and they see, wow, why didn't I come to Sugarbush before? And now that they're here, they come back. Oh, they have a golf course too. You know, people take pride in their facilities or whatever, but people take pride in the area. Sugarbush obviously is a huge part of that area. So yeah, that's why Sugarbush is pretty special.